It is time for my master's wish list. Yesterday morning I got up and my wife said, "Why are you in such a good mood?" And then I thought about it. And I said, well, it's the start of Masters Week. It should be obvious. So, as you can see, I'm wearing my master shirt, which is officially from Augusta. A colleague of mine who went over there to cover it for Supersport many years ago brought it back for me. And it's a treasured item, for sure, despite its age. And I am actually wearing green golf socks at the moment, just to let you know. So, what is my wish list? Well, I have a few biases, like anyone. Being South African, I always want a South African to win things. Simple as that. Secondly, top players who haven't won the Masters before. That's high on my priority list. Generally, foreigners. I always, want to support non-American players because that's what we are, and it's always nice to see one of them win. I really did enjoy when Adam Scott won it those years ago. And I suppose I have to reveal my other bias. You might have seen in other videos. The Live League players who took a chance in their careers and decided to forge a new path for golf. Which, say what you want, it has improved things in terms of money and exposure, etc., etc. I mean, I literally started a whole X account dedicated to golf just because of the Gulf War, the supposed Gulf War. But as you can see, I am a bot. I am AI generated, according to Jim Nance. I'm not a real person. Some little guy in China or India created me, and or Saudi Arabia, and I'm now spewing propaganda from an AI-generated veranda in a little town in South Africa. Yes. So with all that out the way, I've kind of put guys in categories. A few I don't mind. I don't mind a few winning in a similar category, and I counted up how many players I had, and I was on 29. So I thought, well, let me just add one more to make it a nice round number of 30. So there are 30 players I wouldn't mind if they won the Masters, but obviously in a specific order. So, obviously, my two South Africans, Casey Jarvis and Aldrich Potgieter. Jeez, I messed that up. Potgieter. That's how you say it. You got to really be guttural with that G. Potgieter. And yeah, I wouldn't mind if either of them won. Both brilliant players. Casey breaking through with his first win earlier this year on the DP World Tour at the Kenya Open. Then followed that up with the SA Open, his national champion. He is now a national champion. And that is why he's at the Masters. So thank you to the Masters for adding that incentive. And then Potgieter winning the Rocket Classic last year on the PGA Tour. So that's why they both are there. Of course, he has played before, being the amateur champion. He played in 2023. So if either of those two win, I will be as happy as a South African golf fan can be. Secondly, look, if you can't at least appreciate what he's doing for golf, then you are just an insufferable git, as the British would say. Second on the list, like I said, I'm just putting it in order of 1 to, 16 in terms of categories. Bryson DeChambeau. Man, I'd love him to win it. And to his 2 US Open triumphs. Wouldn't it be beautiful if Rory McIlroy put that jacket on him? It would be poetry, wouldn't it? Third, Tyrrell Hatton. He hasn't won a major, and I think he deserves one. Fourth, Cameron Smith. He has won a major, but yeah, he's had lots of criticism for not playing good golf since moving to Live, so I'd love him to win a green jacket. He would only be the second Australian after Adam Scott, as I mentioned, to win one. Greg Norman, oh man, he came so close so many times. I wish he had won a green jacket. 5, Tom McKibben. I like the young Northern Irishman. 6, Carlos Ortiz. Wouldn't it be amazing for a Mexican to win the Masters? 7, Charles Schwartzel. Now he's a bit down than you think he would have been, but of course he has won the Masters. So there are a few guys ahead of him, but I certainly wouldn't be upset if Charles won a second green jacket. 8. Now we get into those guys that, even though they've won it, I'd love them to win another. Jon Rahm. I mean, with the way he's playing at the moment, he's playing phenomenal golf. He is obviously realistically one of the favourites. Then 9 together, Dustin Johnson and Sergio Garcia. 2 guys who are still playing good golf and are way down in the world rankings because of the situation with Liv. Then in the 10th category, Tommy Fleetwood. He certainly is someone that deserves to win a major. That's alongside Ryan Fox. Would be great for a New Zealander to win the Masters. Then in 11th spot, Michael Kim. He's just such a good oak. I love him on X. And yeah, would really like it if he won a major, especially the way he's improved his golf over the last couple of years. Then in category 12, Robert McIntyre. We love to see a Scotsman, another Scotsman winning it. The last one was probably Sandy Lyle. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the case. In 13th spot, Alex Noren, a Swede. Has a Swede ever won the Masters? I don't think so. Then in category 14, Bubba Watson. He's a bit down on that list, simply because he's won 2. And I still kind of, have nightmares about that crazy hook he hit out the trees to deny Louis Oosthuizen in that playoff. Oh man, that would have been beautiful, because Louis would have won that the year after Charles won it. And that would have just been beautiful if Charles, yes, could have put the green jacket on his fellow South African, and now they're teammates for the Southern Guards. I mean, that would have been beautiful. Anyway, so, Bubba, do you want to win a third? You're in the category 14. Now, category 15. Yes. No, category 15. I don't know. I've lost my category. 11. Yeah, he was 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so it would be 15. Cameron Young, Victor Hovland, Sepp Strucker, and Sam Burns. I know they're 2 Americans. There are not many Americans, but I do like those guys. And then in category 15, okay, these guys are former major champions, but I could not begrudge them a green jacket. Justin Rose, of course, losing out in the playoff last year. Brooks Koepka, I know he's left Liv, but you know, I built up an affinity for him over the time he was there, and a 6th major would be amazing for him. And then he'd only need the Open Championship to complete the Grand Slam. So that would be an interesting part of that. And then Jason Day. Of course, he has that one PGA, but yeah, would be nice to see him winning a green jacket. And then the final category. So now I've confused myself. That was 15, 16, so this is category 17. And this is just a group of non-Americans, sorry, that have played decent golf, but aren't quite at the level of they deserve it. But I wouldn't be disappointed if they did. We've got Hao Tong Lee. Imagine a Chinese player winning a major. It's never happened, and it would be a lovely thing to see. Nicholas Echavarria as well. Then you've got the Højgaard twins. I don't mind which one wins. Minwoo Lee and I think his sister's won a couple of lady majors, so I'm sure he'd like to get on the horse, the major horse, Minwoo. And then Marco Penge, who recently joined the PGA Tour and has won 3 times in the DP World Tour last year. So that's it. That's my wish list. I know it took a while to get through all of those, but if any of those 30 players win the Masters, I'll have a pretty good week. But of course, it's those sort of top 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 maybe that I'd really be happy about it. But nothing will trump Jarvis and Porchita winning it because, man, for those youngsters, would it be an unbelievable kickstart to their young careers. Not that they haven't started, but winning a major takes you to another level. Looking forward to the next few days. We'll be watching as much as I can, hopefully live streaming sometimes. But yeah, there's just something special about going down Magnolia Lane every year.